So I'm going to show you a couple of, give you a couple of hints when cutting children's clothes. Okay, these clothes have got sequins, and when it's the edge of the sequins and they are left out of the seaming, they create very sharp points and often are quite harmful, really hurt when they scratch against the bare skin. So what I would suggest is to cut the sleeves and so on equal length as your lining, but then turn it the other way around and take away about 1/4 of an inch from all the sides of the lining. So I've already cut the lining, then I've cut the sleeve, and then I've trimmed it down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to first of all stitch along on the edge, so that you know this the outer side seaming, when I do that and when I overlock that, the inside is left hidden between the two folds. So we'll have the sequence edging trapped inside the overlocking seam of the plain fabric, and that way if no pieces of the lace are caught in the seam and the sequence is cut, then that sharp corner can be avoided, and therefore the children are most likely to get a fairly good wear out of clothes which are, you know, done as comfortable as possible. With children, I can't emphasize the problems that you know it can have, the repercussions that it can have when the garments are, you know, made and they're not comfortable. So what we have here is the cut for the this is a cut for the upper portion of the bodice, and what we're going to do is trim it down. Now whilst I'm doing this, I'll give you some dimensions of what this is cut on as well. So we've got the waist length. This is the waist area that I'm currently cutting, and now the length, the width of this waist, if you can remember. What was your waist, Linaya? Do you remember?
No, the paper's...
Oh, the paper's on the floor. Can you not remember?
Yeah, we get this.
Get it up. Okay, her waist was 22 inches. So we need that 11 inches, at least 11 inches finished. And now we actually, at the moment, we have about, we have about 13.5 inches, which we don't need the whole of that. We are going to cut, we only need a 22 inch waist. Yahya.
Who's got...
Okay, Naya, will you stop moving around on the table, please? You're annoying.
Who's got bathroom?
Yahya, get down. You know what, why don't you go downstairs and take him home?
I don't want to take him home. I don't want to walk him home again.
Okay, so, you know, with all these edges of this, 1/2 inch, a 1/4 of an inch away from the edge, you want to make this top portion less, including the neck. Or if you want to do the neck equal, then we have to, I think what we'll do is we'll use a little bit of a silk to actually border. So what we've got is all the edges less than, you know, and we've trimmed it off, including the top of the shoulder. Now the top of the shoulder, you don't have to have it as much, as long as your seam can be trapped inside the leftover fabric. So that's one. Now I'm going to put a side zip in this dress because it's going to be quite a fitted dress, and one of the problems, the other problems that you have with children is they're often complaining about when they wear them. So if they're hard to get on and off, then that's another, you know, like with Inaya, I don't like them overly big because they don't suit her, because she's quite slim, and when she wears something, you don't say skinny. Skinny is not a nice word. You have to use a nice word. What's sort of the nice word for skinny? Slim. Okay?
Or maybe flat.
No, not flat.
I'm not flat.
No, not flat.
I'm not like flat slide.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, we don't want to use words which are not very eloquent. We want to use eloquent words. Okay, so Inaya is very young and she's very slim and very petite. So we don't want to...
What is petite?
Petite. Petite means small. I'm trying to select nice words, Naya.
But when I don't know them.
The words that you don't know. Well, that gives you a chance to learn those words as well. Yeah.
And I said that in the video, Miss Begum is the best because she's the best. And all the rest of my teachers are the best.
Yeah, so
How are you gonna get me? Are you gonna get my fatty? I'm gonna get cut in a minute.
So we've trimmed all the sides of this and we're going to stitch around them so that this piece is fixed onto the lining piece, and then when we sew on the edges of the lining, what will happen is that will trap the fabrics in between and stop the irritation.
I'm still itchy.
So we've
And
got
I
all the
even have
cuttings.
this. And I even have this also dress. I won't get it. And I.
No, they've seen it. They've seen the Elsa dress. We've shown it.
I know.
Yeah, it was a bit irritating, but don't worry, we'll fix it. We'll put a bit of lining on that too.
Yes, you need to. Cause once the other day they said that you're gonna put some lining on it.
Well, I haven't had a chance there, have I?
Yeah, tomorrow you
Yeah.
can. Tomorrow you're gonna be even busier tomorrow. Papa and Damna said they're gonna make a cake to take.
Where? To the wedding. Don't be stupid. Why are they going to take a cake for? They'll have a cake at the wedding. Right, we're going to quickly put... Now, will you please move?
So
Now, I recently did like a cross between a chudidar and a trouser. We're going to do like a similar... Yeah, don't.
what is he
We're
doing?
going to do like a similar cut because I don't want it overly big. Meaning, I don't want it overly wide. So this is just a folded fabric, and what we're going to do is we're just going to turn it over like this, and from the length of this we're going to put like a cross between a churidar and a trouser. So it was the length that we required, which was going to be 30 inches. We don't want to make it too long.
And it makes no.
So we'll measure 32 inches. Yeah, no. You probably hear me shouting more than anything else. You know, when you've got a sewing room and you've got kids around, they are a nasty
Child.
nasty what? Little monster. What are you doing?
Sundarandos.
Yeah, no. Maya, please take him home.
I don't want to go with him. He'll keep on running away from me. Because when I took him home the other day, he kept on running away from me. And he
Okay,
went,
so we're going to create
coast me.
the buncher here.
Fine, I'll
And
take
this-
it. Fine, I'll take it. But if he gets lost, it's your fault. It doesn't matter.
Why is he going to get lost for?
I'm not going to hold his arm or anything like that.
Why is he going to get lost for?
Jag hade bum bum in here. Let's go bum bum. Come on.
He doesn't want to go.
Let's go bum bum. Bum bum.
Bye.
Okay, let's push it. I need to push it downstairs. Bye. I'll put it back on.
Now this is turned over so that there's bias in this, and that's the inside leg. Now the fabric is a little bit stiff, so I don't want to make it too heavy. And that basically is it. It's cut on across, there's no belt or anything. It's cut on a bias so that it's got a slight bit of stretch, and it gives a little bit of the elasticacy, and we'll just do a seam, two outside seams, and that's all there is to it. A very, very simple and easy way to cut a churidar.